Hello and welcome live from the Channels Television Global Headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. You're watching Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iriwu, and today our focus will be on the South-South region. It's been 3 days of transformative discussions as public relations professionals converged in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State for the 2025 NIPR week to reshape the public relations landscape. Over 1,000 delegates gathered to examine the critical role of effective communication in governance process as they seek ways to harness public relations for Nigerian economic relations. The Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, appeals to public relations professionals to key into ongoing efforts and reforms aimed at rebranding the nation's reputation and attracting investors into the country. The event also saw the installation of the chairman of the Channels Media Group, Dr. John Momoh, as the pioneer chairman of the Nigerian Reputation Management Group.
Chairman of the Channels Media Group, Dr. John Momoh, arrives at the Government House in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, for a courtesy call on Governor Umar Eno, before heading to the venue of the 2025 Nigeria Public Relations Week.
How are you?
The governor commends Channels Television for its work in churning out unbiased national and international reports and distinguishing itself as a vanguard of truth and a voice of the people.
We just want to say thank you and want to let you know how much we admire what Channels is doing. Being a vanguard of truth and representing the people. Of course, they say you're the fourth estate of the realm. You watch for the people, the things you do on Channels, the truth you seek to pursue, the balanced story that we get. And sometimes, and again, you see that Channels just likes to present both sides if there are issues, and I've always watched with admiration.
Please be seated. Your Excellency.
Dr. Momoh then joins more than 1,000 public relations professionals who converge on Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, for the 2025 Nigeria Public Relations Week. This annual event, the largest gathering of PR practitioners in the country, draws participants from all sectors, including various security agencies.
Chairman, Body of Advisors of the
President and Chairman of the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations Council, Dr. Ike Neliaku, emphasizes the critical role of effective communication in governmental success.
The challenge of leadership in Nigeria is partly due to lack of effective communication, because leaders don't take responsibility in sharing their views and their visions with those they are leading. They assume that they know what the people want, and in some cases they fail to lead because they have not done their homework.
Representing the Akwa Ibom state government, the Deputy Governor, Senator Akon Eyakenyi, underscores the importance of public relations in shaping positive public opinion and fostering development.
Here in Akwa Ibom State, we have a robust relationship with the media and public relations practitioners. We see them as partners in our efforts to galvanize our people to arise and take charge of their destiny.
The Minister of Information, Mr. Mohammed Idris, assures participants that the federal government's ongoing reforms are designed to bolster the economy for the benefit of all citizens.
At a time that you are inviting the world to come to you, also be telling the world that your country is not ready for them. You cannot promote your country if you continue to say bad things about your country. Of course, constructive criticisms are always welcome. I'm calling on all Nigerians, the young and the old, the media professionals and everyone. We must come together and speak good about our country. This is the only country that we have.
On the 15th of
A significant highlight of the event is the installation of the chairman, Channels Media Group, Dr. Momo, as the pioneer chairman of the body of advisors, Nigeria Reputation Management Group.
I hereby proclaim and formally install Dr. John Reputation Momo, OON, FNIPR, as a pioneer chairman, body of advisors of the Nigerian Reputation Management Group.
Great innovation. A round of applause of the new birds, the new dawn.
While the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Mr. Adewale Adeniyi, is named Vice Chairman, and Mohammed Abubakar was appointed Secretary.
Our reputation is a collective asset. We must each do our part to protect it. That said, this collective effort must be matched by a serious, consistent commitment from those in leadership. We cannot build trust in Nigeria's image if those entrusted with the responsibility to govern do not lead by example. When institutions function with fairness and competence, citizens become the first ambassadors of their country. When leadership inspires trust, the people follow with pride. The credibility of a nation is only as strong as the credibility of its leaders.
The week also featured posthumous awards honoring deceased members of the NIPR.
Over in Delta State, tensions continue to rise as the Shekiri ethnic group has staged a protest in Warri against the Independent National Electoral Commission's delineation of the Warri Federal Constituency. Their protest directly responds to recent comments by Ijo and Urobo leaders at the Borough Day celebration, where those communities commended INEC and urged the federal government to protect the integrity of the delineation exercise. They accuse INEC of abandoning its own guidelines in the whole process and call for a total review of the process.
A few days ago, the Ijaw celebrated the Borough Day, where they expressed their grievances over an alleged attempt by the Shekiris to influence the presidency to prevail on INEC and its decision on the delineation exercise recently carried out. Days after the allegations were made, protesters under the umbrella of the Warri Indigenous Peoples Movement gather in Okere, Warri South local government area to deny those allegations as they voiced their dissatisfaction with the outcome of INEC's delineation fieldwork. They marched through key areas of Warri, maintaining that the process has been compromised.
The Ijaw and Urobo stakeholders should not misinform the public with their deliberate misinterpretation of Supreme Court judgments. They claim to be law-abiding and peaceful in the wake of the 2022 Supreme Court judgment. So, we advise them to also abide by all court judgments in Warri Federal Constituency, particularly the 10-12 Ward judgment in Warri South. The Supreme Court judgment affirming Okere as the correct name of the Nigerian Maritime University, not Okeregogo. The High Court judgment barring the Ogbijo and Agbara people from contesting land ownership with the Shekiris in Warri South. We restate that we are not against the Supreme Court judgment on the ward delineation, but we maintain our stance that INEC must follow its own guidelines.
They also call for review in line with Supreme Court directives and INEC's original framework that Warri remains traditionally Ishekiri land.
Warri Kingdom is an inheritance of the Shekiri nation. We are calling on federal government, the state governor, to call their staff to order. Borough Oputu cannot use the instrument of government to oppress and intimidate the Shekiri people. We have been law-abiding for these years. We are not cowards. We are not lazy.
In a press statement to correct what it describes as misconceptions about the proposed delineation, INEC says it held consultations with stakeholders in Warri on Friday, April the 4th, 2025, where copies of the draft report were presented to the representatives of each of the parties connected with the issue to give them the opportunity to raise concerns they might have. The overall objective was to arrive at an amicable agreement endorsed by all parties involved. Meanwhile, the Commission says it's yet to take a final decision on the delineation of wards in the Warri Federal Constituency, assuring all parties that all issues will be resolved in their best interests.
The Edo State government has expressed deep concerns over the adverse impacts of long years of cultism on the state's economy, particularly the loss of lives and the loss of over $1 billion worth of potential investments annually. These acts of violence, predominantly driven by clashes among rival cult groups, have not only led to tragic loss of lives and property, but have also discouraged investments and tourism, ultimately slowing economic growth. Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Fred Itwa, says the high spate of cult-related violence in the last 5 years has caused substantial disruptions to economic activities as investors and business owners increasingly grew wary of the security situation. He notes that the state's critical infrastructure and commercial centers were also affected, with some businesses forced to shut down temporarily or permanently owing to security concerns. The fear of violence also deterred potential visitors, resulting in a downturn in hospitality, transportation, and other tourism-related sectors. It's a moment of renewed confidence and political realignment in Cross River State as Governor Bassey Edet Otu formally welcomed the fresh wave of political defectors into the All Progressives Congress APC family. The event, held at the All Progressives Congress office in Calabar, it attracted stakeholders, party leaders, and supporters from across the 18 local government areas, showcasing the growing appeal of Governor Otu's People First leadership. The governor assures all the defectors that they have equal political rights with those who have been in the party before, and now they will all be carried along. According to the governor, the party is a family, and under this roof, they prioritize unity, inclusiveness, and development. Governor Bassey Otu's inclusive leadership continues to reshape the political landscape of Cross River State.
This party is a party that is ready and willing to accept everybody. The governor of Cross River State is busy ensuring that Cross River State is going to be the only sub-national where security challenge will no longer be our problem. We all know what the state of the road in Cross River State was before now. The governor is fixing it, and he has assured me that he is not going to rest until all the roads in Cross River State is fixed. He has also asked me to let you know that he is going to receive you personally and your followers when he comes. He will meet with you and he will create a level playing ground for you and your supporters.
In the state, as I had mentioned during the course of my thank you at the rally, I had said that the developmental strides of Governor Bassey Edet Otu in Cross River State is one, or these strides are worthy of not just emulation by other governors across the 36 states of Nigeria, but it should be a rallying point for Cross Riverians generally to join hands to make the job easy for the governor of Cross River State to deliver the dividends to the people at the grassroots.
Welcome back. Sudden demolitions, conflicting ownership claims, and prolonged court cases related to property disputes. These are some of the harsh realities property owners and developers say they face within River State and beyond. The Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria disclosed this during a visit to the Chief Judge of River State, where they tabled some of these problems and rubbed minds on their solutions. Our correspondent Deborah Agbalama now reports.
A few months ago, residents of Unity Estate, Enika Obiakpo local government area of River State watched their homes reduced to rubble. The bulldozers roll in demolishing properties that owners say were legally acquired and were not served any prior court notice.
Just woke up one day. So one community I don't know, it's a cartel. I think they are these land grabbers. Just moved in with heavy trucks, dismantling buildings, destroying fences. Mine was affected. And then the only thing I have to do is to call on my landlord. Okay? The property I bought from you years back. I'm hearing a story that they have this court judgment, that court judgment, and then from when I came to buy the property, there was nothing like a judgment or a court case.
You can see the document in my hand. That is the judgment that the Rumudru people with their land grabbers are using to demolish innocent people's properties. In our community, many people are now in pain.
In a statement, local authorities at that time distanced themselves from the controversy, calling it a family land issue and that the government had no hand in it. But for many developers, this is part of a wider crisis in land administration in Rivers State, where more than one community or individual claim ownership of the same land and demolition orders are allegedly executed without full judicial clarity. The Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDEN, says the absence of a centralized digital land registry is at the heart of the problem, not just in Rivers, but across many Nigerian states.
It's the same thing everywhere, where people can still play foul by tampering with an existing document to create another document, so you now have double allocation. Let them do their due diligence very well. Even if it's not digitalized, go to the family or communities that are sold and verify the claim, because there's an existing agreement the person selling is presenting. Verify if the lawyer prepared the agreement. Verify if the family signed the agreement. If you go through this process, you will run into trouble. But don't do it by yourself. Get a trained professional like a lawyer or an estate surveyor to help you do this.
REDEN took their concerns to the Chief Judge of Rivers State, requesting judicial support for reforms among their proposals.
Multiplicity of cases, that's what led to the multiple court judgment and court orders. He let us know that judiciary alone should not be blamed, that NBA, the lawyers, also be blamed where they file multiple cases. He also told us the effort being made by judiciary to make sure that matter is streamlined, so that matter of similar nature of the same parties can be consolidated in one court.
While the courts may offer judgments, the digitalization of land records, according to the judiciary, falls under the Ministry of Lands and Housing.
The issue is quelling the doorstep of the developers, who are most of the litigants, and the lawyers also. But we have advised them that we have a registry where they can cross-check to see cases that are pending involving land. They should make use of the registry to see the land, to know the land that is in dispute or not.
REDEN says this is only the beginning of a broader campaign to secure property rights and build a more transparent and predictable estate environment in Rivers and beyond. Deborah Abalama, Channels Television News.
Staying in Rivers State as part of efforts to improve its civil-military relations as well as marking its 61st anniversary, the Nigerian Air Force is providing free medical services to its host community in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. Speaking in Rumo Omasi community during the outreach put together by the Air Force Reference Hospital, the Commander, Air Commodore Ikechukwu Ogbodo, who was represented by Squadron Leader Tamaune Ebenezer, said the exercise is in compliance with the Chief of Air Staff's directive to assist the health needs of their host communities. Our correspondent, Charles Oporom, reports.
It's a different kind of mission for the Nigerian Air Force, this time on the humanitarian front. Officers and medical personnel storm Rumomasi community in Port Harcourt, the state capital, bringing health care directly to the people. The initiative, spearheaded by the Nigerian Air Force Reference Hospital, is part of efforts to strengthen civil-military relations and extend goodwill to host communities.
We recognize the challenges faced by many communities in accessing quality health care, and it is our duty as protector of people to support in areas where our presence can make a meaningful difference. This outreach includes medical consultation, treatment of common ailments, health education, distribution of drugs, and minor procedures, all in no cost to the beneficiaries. These efforts are part of our blueprints to demonstrate that the Nigerian Air Force is not just a war-fighting institution, but a compassionate and people-centered force.
Representative of the 115 Special Operations Group, Wing Commander Bashir Adamu, emphasizes the Air Force's long-standing commitment to service beyond the skies.
Under the directive of the Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Hassan Badam Mohammed, distinguished service staff, it is our privilege and honor to carry out this one-day medical outreach in the host community of our NAV units across the country. In doing so, we reaffirm our pledge to extend a healing touch beyond the confines of our air bases and into the hearts of those who call these communities home.
The outreach includes free consultation, medication, and health checks, services that residents say they deeply appreciate.
They are doing a good job, and what they are doing, they are using it to help the masses. And it's good that they are doing it like that. And all their doctors, they are very well looking, they are doing a good job, they are fast, everything is.
This medical outreach is just one of several activities lined up to celebrate 61 years of the Nigerian Air Force, 61 years of service to the nation, both in combat and in care. Charles Oporum, Channels Television News.
In a passionate call for the advancement of Cross River State, a coalition of vibrant young voices under the umbrella of the Cross River State Political Network, Crispon, is appealing to President Bola Tinubu to uphold his promise of dredging the Calabar port, a long-standing infrastructural aspiration expected to boost the state's economic potential. Speaking in Calabar, the state capital, Michael Abua, Director General of Crispon, says dredging the port is not just for politics, but a critical economic necessity that would transform trade, enhance job creation, and restore the state's relevance in Nigeria's maritime map. The group commends the president for his strides towards sustainable and transformative development across the nation. They also praised Governor Basio too for aligning closely with the federal government's Renewed Hope agenda and for his ongoing efforts to reposition the state on the path of progress.
I think in the whole 774 local government area we have in the Federation, the 18 local government areas in Cross River State is the only local government where we have the true implementation of local government autonomy, where we've had the local government elections and local government chairmen that are ensuring that they reach out to people at the grassroots. Most importantly, we want to use this opportunity to appeal to the president to also look at the dredging of the Calabar port. When he came for his campaign, Crispon was there with him, and we know that at the stadium he made the promise to dredge the Calabar port. We also know that he said that he was going to look at the Calabar-Uyo road, which is in a deplorable state, and that he's also going to look at the Calabar-Ogoja road, which is in a deplorable state. We want to thank him immensely for all he has done through NDDC, street lights, roads, school renovation, and even the Lagos-Calabar highway, and all other projects and the support that he has been giving to the state.
We are here as his people to tell him that we appreciate what he's doing. We appreciate good governance that is given to Cross River State people. That Perseverance under the platform of Cross River State Political Network are saying that please continue. We want you to continue for 8 years.
And just so we draw the curtains on this edition of Newsroom series, I'm Dominic Iriu. Enjoy the rest of your day.